Coming in Hot is presented by Betano. The game starts now. Here are your hosts, Brent Wallace, Jason York, and Bobby Ryan.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm Brent Wallace alongside Jason York and Bobby Ryan, and it is exciting this show today. Hey Bobby, good game last night in the World Juniors?
Yeah, right out of the gate. Thank you. Did not take long. All right, we can talk about it.
I just thought I would throw on something a little slimming, a little Team Canada jersey I just found lying around. We'll get to that in a sec. This show is always brought to you by Betano. Go to betano.ca. They are newly licensed in Ontario. The game starts now at Betano. Sign up, get a 100% welcome bonus up to $500. They are, and by the way, their app is fantastic. So get in with them, give them a shout if that's who you're looking to place your bets with. They are fantastic. Betano, betano.ca. All right, boys. Bobby, I'm sure you're going to probably slightly complain about the goalie interference call or the 2 goals called back for Team USA, but in reality, it was just a dominating performance by Canada. Go ahead.
It's just okay. All right. I have a couple complaints about a couple plays, but I can't disagree. They got outplayed in every sense of the word for large portions of the game, and you can't win like that. But you also can't win when you're just up against the refs too. like it just felt like they had no chance in that game. But I thought Canada was the better team. I still don't disagree.
Yeah, I thought that game. Well, first of all, I'm liking our new betting partners here, Wally Betano. I'm just so you guys know, I'm 3-0 right now. By the way, we had the Bruins pick, we had our Sens pick, and I did go Team Canada last night. But I disagree. I thought that game could have went either way. I thought the U.S. was really good. Like those guys controlled the play for a large majority of that game. I thought Canada. Well, look who the first star of the game was. They got excellent goaltending. In a game like that, it could have went either way. I would say the one call could have went either way. I didn't really think it was that bad. Everyone keeps showing the slow motion of I forget which player is sitting on the goaltender's head. But then if you watch it in real time, though, it doesn't look that bad. But the second one, for sure, that was the right call. That was the right call. The first one, there's an argument to be made for that. Sure. Second one for sure. First one, you know what? I think we're getting a little too soft on goaltenders, but it's international rules too. I was just surprised. I was surprised, just to finish the thought. I was surprised the refs changed it, because I've played a year in the Swiss League, and those refs are horrendous. And one of the guys was from Switzerland. So I'm just glad they got that one right. But hey, they're kids. At the end of the day, these guys are kids, and it's the game's filled with mistakes. But what a game it was. That's
World Junior Hockey is literally filled with mistakes. It's kamikaze. They're everywhere. They're running around. It's really hard, I think, at times to get the pulse of the game correct. For me, anyway, because the ebbs and the flows and the transitions are so high. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
I no question. I do agree that the first call is soft. But in international rules, and you can complain about it if you want, those are the calls that are correct. So if the NHL were to adapt international rules, like, they call the game by the book. I will say, whether you like it or not, if you hit somebody and drive them into the boards from behind, you are likely to get a boarding call. Where in the NHL, it's like, well, maybe it's not a boarding call, right? So we complain all the time about NHL officials. And like, well, why isn't that a call? Or they missed that call. Well, in international game, they don't miss it as much. They call them more often than they don't.
They call everything. They call if you hit a guy. If you hit a guy too hard in international hockey, you're getting a penalty. We used to joke about that. What do you get a penalty for? I hit him too hard.
Yes.
It's the way it is. And the guys need to know that, and you adapt to it. So
I hit him in open ice.
Yeah.
They hate the open ice hit.
Yeah, they do. Hey, it's the big open ice, or you're going to the box, no matter what.
100%.
This seems like a good time to perhaps bring up our bet, Bobby. I don't know if you can remember it. Maybe Alex, would you like to play the clip?
I remember.
If Canada wins, I'm going to cook you a steak.
A well done steak.
I don't want that. No. Like, no. Yeah. Look at this.
So,
Look at that hunk of meat right there.
there was something last night.
Yeah.
What?
So,
you know what, boys? You know what, Wally? We need to recreate the scene from The Great Outdoors. The three of us will go up and we'll get what's it called, the 90-pounder or whatever. And you'll stand over top of him and say, "You got to eat the grizzle too, boy."
So, I'm excited.
So good.
You know what? Maybe we'll just go to Montana. Sometime you're in town. I don't know when that is necessarily, but there's a steak event on right now at Montana's. Maybe you can come up. We'll see how much is in the budget for this, and you can take me out to dinner.
Deal.
And go to Montana. By the way,
hey, yeah, plug them too. But you're only getting a half pound of wings. You can't have the
Yeah, but hold on.
And water.
Hold on a second. Montana's is going to have to make a disclaimer and say when the steak is cooked and say we usually don't do our steaks this way, but for this particular bat, it will be extremely well done. Because I don't know if that's good for the brand if we're showing one of those bad boys live on our stream.
It will be worth every penny. By the way, go to just let me do this by the sponsor read. Go to montana.ca. Right now they have a steak event going on, plus drink deals on Thursdays. Take a stop in there. 51 locations in Ontario. I think there's 6 in Ottawa, to say the least. If you're going out to a Sens game, you can go to one at Canada Centrum. Montana's, they have great wings, as Bobby can attest to, and he's going to attest to a fantastic well-done steak coming up later. I was a little nervous. When the Americans were up 2-0, I almost sent you a text and went, "Eee!" So I waited, and then I sent you some notes, and it was dead radio silence from you all night long. Nothing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I went to. I had to. When you got to bet, you have to feel a certain way about somebody when you bet them. So I had to be quiet and sit this one. I had to work through this on my own.
Hey, Wally. By the way, on our steak poll, we had the poll going, and it's incredible how many people love that. You forgot a category. We had a lot of people saying, "Hey, where's the category for blue?" They wanted that just a little.
I didn't make the poll.
It wasn't you?
Okay.
Oh, I thought for sure it was you.
So I got no. I would not have done this poll.
I was going to say,
it just would have said, "Well done."
How many people do we employ here, Wally? I just kind of thought it was all Wally.
It's a big staff.
Yeah, big production.
Big staff. Yeah. All right. I haven't mentioned, and if you haven't already seen our promos, Brady Tkachuk is coming up on the show, which I'm excited for because I have the captain on. It's been we wanted him on earlier, but Bobby, like when the team's not playing well, you don't really want to have chats and joke. And so we've waited to bring him on. But we can say on January the 5th, this is the deepest this team or latest in the season. They've been 500 or better since the 2016-17 season. So they have turned things around. You can see some positive play. Do we feel good about the direction of this club at the moment, Bobby?
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to right now. And then, I mean, we can talk about this all over again next week, but and after they play a couple games, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think we're lucky in the sense that we got Brady on when things are going well, and he's he gets to kind of talk about where they're at now versus where they were for a period of time. So it all ties in, but at the same time, this is the best that they've looked. I think we can all agree that this is the best they've looked consistently. Night in and night out for a very, very long period of time.
No surprise. This is the most consistent goaltending they've had for this little stretch of run in a long time. And to me, that's probably that's the number one reason. We all knew coming into this season, because of the makeup of the blue line, that goaltenders were going to have to make some saves. You know, those saves, like, wow, how do you make that save? That's an unbelievable save. Well, we said that a lot about the Ottawa Senators throughout this winning streak. And I love the Forsberg story, by the way. Did you guys read Christmas Day? I think it was Mendez had an article in the so he's on the bike Christmas Day, in there working out, getting a workout in, and great timing for him too. By the way, coach walks in and sees you. Hey, DJ, how you doing?
Yeah.
Well, right away, if you're the coach, you're thinking, you know what, man, I'd love to give this guy a shot because look how hard he's working. Sure enough, he gets a shot, and then he plays 2 great games. So for me, it's the goaltending. We've always known they've had good forwards. We didn't know the power play was just going to be good because of the goaltending, though. That's given them a chance, and that's a big reason for me.
Yeah.
I do like Cam Talbot's play, but how do you not cheer for Anton Forsberg at the moment, who gets the shutout, right?
Exactly.
He's got the great story. This kid's watching. He's a waiver pickup. Good for him. And there was the discussion earlier on, and maybe he deserved to be the number one guy, but I think with the pedigree that Cam Talbot comes with, he automatically gets the number one spot until Anton Forsberg runs with it. But maybe he's running with it. Do you come back with Forsberg against Seattle on Saturday, because he just posted a shutout, or do you go back to Talbot, who hasn't played in the last 2 games, and you don't want him to sit for very long? I guess it's going to be Talbot.
So for me, if you don't let a goal in, if you have a shutout, you just continue. The net's yours right? That would be the way that I have always viewed things. I think the net is yours until there's a reason to pull you out of it. And if you're not going to give up a goal in a game, then you're going to get the net the next game. So I would run that back 100%.
Was that John Paddock, or was that who had the win in their in? Remember, it was win in your in. Who was that?
John Paddock.
That was Paddock, right? It was
totally Paddock. Yeah.
It was to the point with the goaltenders, like whoever wins is in. That's winning you're in. So I'm not a big believer in that. But to Bobby's point, you get a shutout, you play as well as you did that game. I'd have no problem going back with Forsberg. My only concern is you're going to need both guys. You don't want Talbot to sit for too long. But I'm a firm believer the guy that gets the shutout, I'd put him back in there. But that's just me.
You have to.
But Talbot,
you have to.
I agree with you in principle, but the last time Talbot played was December 31st, which is going to be 8 days. That's the issue.
That's the concern. For sure. That's the concern.
Yeah. Valid.
All right. That's what I like to do. We're going to do our lock of the day coming up after the Brady interview. So Yorkie, sharpen your pencils so that you're ready to go 4-0, because I'm sure you're going to remind us of this every time now. I think now, Bobby, we've created a monster.
We have, this is and we got this is just on us. This is our problem to deal with, but
he is the most excited about.
I like Bobby's heater. I still like Bobby's heater better. I still do, but no, I'm. The problem is I don't take my own advice. I'm like, maybe I'm going to bet on this game. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to start listening to myself. Then we're going to go cold here. But no, I'll keep reminding you. 3-0.
Okay.
3-0. So I'm excited to see what we got today, Wally.
We'll get one of our 17 staff members to keep track of this and make a board so that we can see it. Before we get there, by the way, Renfrew Pro Tape. Go to renfrewpro.com to get all your supplies for hockey tapes. They don't laugh. They're good people. They are the inventors of pro hockey tape, by the way. They're the ones with the green core. Get them at all major retailers. Canadian Tire, Sport Check, Pro Hockey Life, Source for Sports, and get the ones that really matter. Also, they do shin pad tape. They invented it. It's called Polyflex. And if you want to, you could get the like Yorkie likes to have on his stick is the flame tape. That's a big thing for Yorkie when he's out playing pickup hockey. RenfrewPro.com. Go follow them on Instagram at RenfrewPro. Also, speaking of the Ottawa Valley, BEI, Bonnechere Excavating Inc. They are the They will help you with all your aggregate stone needs. They're the leaders in civil engineering in the Renfrew Valley, or the Ottawa Valley, I should say. Give them a call, 613-432-1120 for competitive pricing, BonnechereExcavating.com. BEI, helping to shape the Ottawa Valley. Now, here is Brady Tkachuk, the captain. It's been a while since we've had a chat. Things are much better now, eh? Like, it must be a little bit more fun to be around the rink these days.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a little touch and go there in November, but it was the we knew it right there. Just a couple bad bounces, a couple bad breaks. It just we weren't finding ways to win, but as of late, we fought our way back to get in the mix here a little bit. But we know that there's still ground to make up, but we're definitely confident. We're not overconfident, but we like where our game's at right now. We know that we're just going to keep getting better.
Well, I'll get the a bit of the Sens stuff out of the way before we get into some fun stuff. One of the things is, if I go back, we can go back to your December game in a sec against the Rangers where you dominated that game, and it's arguably and I'll ask you about it, the best game you've ever played. But since that time, you guys are 10-4-2. You're 9th best in the league in winning percentage. 7 of the 8 teams in front of you, however, are all in the Eastern Conference. Like, it's tough to gain ground. Are you finding that if you look at the standings? Do you even look at the standings?
I look at it once in a while. I mean, a lot of teams are playing really well right now in the East, and especially in our division as well. So it's a long season, and we know that we're not even halfway through it. So a lot of things can change, but we know that as well as we've been playing as of late, we know we can get to that next level.
Before we get on to stories about Bobby, because I'm sure you must have some, at least I'm hoping you do, we're going to get to Tail of the Tape. Brought to you by ProTape. Go to renfrewpro.com. Follow them on Instagram at renfrewpro. All right, here we go. 83. That's the number of points you scored in 2022. Most points scored by a Senator in a calendar year since 2007. Two Gordie Howe hat tricks, and we're going to talk about that one against the Rangers here shortly, which is one more, by the way, than your brother has. 4. One of 4 players to record 1,000+ hits since you've come into the league in 18-19. That's 167 more points, by the way, than any of the other 3. And 1, the only player in the league with 1,000 hits and 1,000 shots since 2018-19, 5 seasons. Pretty impressive resume you've started to build. Plus, we could go through a bunch of numbers of you being on the all-time list for the Senators. Yesterday against, in the game you passed Mike Hoffman. You're now sit 16th overall for most points in franchise history. Is there anything that stands out to you in the league since you've been into it? With what you've been able to accomplish?
Yeah, well, I mean, wouldn't be able to do all that without my teammates, and I've been fortunate to play with some great players, and of course have the guidance of a lot of guys that came before me, and I've been lucky to have my dad, my brother along the way too that have helped me out tremendously. But I mean, just been honored to share the room with a lot of great players, but great guys that made me feel at home right from day one.
Yeah, you kind of, I mean, not to allude to, anything, but you were really fortunate, I think, obviously stepped in as the 4th overall pick and an 18-year-old, but really, really complimentary player to your game was Mark Stone early on. So and obviously I think you were in his wedding and you guys hit it off in a certain way, but I think that you guys had a very, very good mixture of the way that you played and the way that he kind of carried himself on the ice. So for me, I got to watch you play that year and watch you step into the league and have success right away because of that connection. So, I guess touch on Stoner and what he means to you in a little sense.
Yeah, no, he means the world to me. He definitely, he didn't have to welcome me into his house, year one and kind of make me feel like I was a part of his family. And yeah, like you said, he's one of the guys that I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for him. And just lucky I got to play with him. And like you said, just the way he was as a player, just tried to just get him the puck, just go to the net and he'll always find us. So, I thought we, gelled well together and of course, he went on to, a great spot in Vegas and he's having, a ton of success there. And, definitely miss playing with him. He was unreal to play with.
Well, they gave him a couple bucks to go out that way, huh?
Not a bad spot too.
Tax free.
Hey, Bob, remember the
72,
video when he got traded there? When he, you know
Yeah.
how he
Oh,
is,
yeah.
just so
Yeah.
just so quiet, and then all of a sudden the drum line, and then he's just so uncomfortable. He's like, "This is not."
Yeah.
I like this Vegas.
This is
You
not.
might get him, might get Mark because he's not a. It was just so funny how awkward
It's
he
so
was in that
true.
video.
I remember when he
Okay,
was
Brady, as a
it was-
player, I just want to say about going down and you saw all his face on every one of the main marquees on the Vegas Strip. Like, how cool would that be as a player? Is that a big draw to players to get you to go there?
I mean, I had a funny story with him. We were just, of course, we were there for a couple days and during the season, so try to hang out with him. And one day, I think he came to the hotel, the Aria where we were staying, and you know, of course, we went to the tables for a little bit, and we're just catching up, and then all of a sudden, the dealer starts talking to Mark and how he's a huge fan, and just I think it's hilarious. The place you kind of wouldn't expect the hockey team to be so popular in Vegas. Those guys are, like you said, all over everywhere, and like everybody loves them there. The local people just are diehard fans, and so you have dealers that just at the table just love talking hockey. So it's pretty funny. And then the away teams too. So there's a couple guys that have gotten to talk to some of the dealers, and it's funny. You wouldn't expect it, but they love it there.
Brady, what are you? Are you a blackjack guy, roulette guy, craps? If you're in Vegas, if you're in Vegas, what game is Brady Tkachuk playing?
Shit, we're off the rails again. All right.
Yeah, it depends on who I'm with, but I love craps. Craps is fun. It's you just get to yell for basically no reason, just scream 7.
I'm banned from the
good.
craps table. I went down to Vegas a long time ago. Had no idea what I was doing on craps. Lost my shirt. Ended up getting about free 3 trips because the casino wanted to keep bringing me back. But I learned my lesson from that one, Brady. I took an absolute beating at craps. So no more craps for me, man.
Yeah, that's where once that happens, that first little sequence, then we just go to roulette and just hope for the best.
Yeah, there you go.
Who's the luckiest
Yorkie
guy?
Was 86 from Yorkie was 86 from the Aria. He's not allowed back.
I banned myself, Bobby. That's the problem. Hey, that's the problem when you're. Hey, Bobby, that's the problem when you're in Anaheim. You're a 40-minute flight on whatever that $40 flight is. You can go there as much as you want. So it's good to be far away from there, Brady. Trust me.
Yeah, Chuck, you're lucky, man. I've been on that puddle hopper a few times.
Yeah, I know you have.
Fly out of John Wayne Airport, and you're there in an hour. Yeah, all right. Moving on.
Yep.
Okay, last one before we move back to Ottawa, and that's who's the luckiest guy on the Sens? If you had to go to the casino with one guy to win with, who is it?
Whew. I think recently I got to go with Giroux. He I remember there's been a couple big trips, so at the tables. So as of now, I'd probably be picking him.
The rich get richer.
Fair
right?
enough. Speaking of Claude Giroux, what's Claude been like to be around the room, and especially since he's been a captain for a long time? I don't know if you've had long chats with him, but can you talk about the relationship you two have formed?
He's been awesome. I've gotten already in our 4 or 5 months knowing each other, he's gotten to be really close with him, and he's to be honest, not kind of what I expected. I of course didn't know him. Of course, I knew guys that knew him, but he's been unreal. He's I don't know really how to describe. He's just all time. He's just never a bad day. Just love. It's we can be shooting shit about anything, and just a couple jabs here and there with each other. But that's just a relationship that we have, and he's an all time guy.
Yeah, is he one of the best chirpers?
Oh yeah. Oh, he'll give it to anybody. It's just little things on the ice too. Like in a scrum, he'll just be like he'll ask anybody. Like even though he knows he's not fighting, he's like, "Hey, you want one?" It's just like I feel like he's just making me laugh out there. It's just a full comedy act by him.
Yeah.
Hey, Brady, you last year you had so much chemistry with Batherson and Norris, and obviously with Josh. Watching you now with Giroux and Stützle, when you guys together, you guys just seem to know where each other are and the chemistry. And you were on that point streak heater for a while, probably playing some of the best hockey I've seen you play all around. Is that relationship you have with Giroux, him coming in? Because it seems like you're feeding off him, he's feeding off you, and Timmy's doing Timmy things. It's just, I don't know, maybe explain that chemistry. Like that line, just, you guys seem to have a little bit of everything out there.
Yeah, I think, like you said, playing with Josh and Drake for, 2 years, I think, we had unbelievable chemistry. I think, being able to play with those guys, for shifts here and there, I think like we still got it. And with Timmy and Drake, I think that's just what's great about our group is that all of us can play with one another. If, things are struggling with one line or another, just to spice things up, that I think we're all good enough that we could just hop in middle of a game and be able to click like that. And I think that's just with how tight we are off the ice and just the communication that we're able to have on the bench about certain things, that it's not a, FU match. It's just, we're just honestly just trying to help, each other and trying to make ourselves better. But yeah, I think that's what's so great about our group is that you can put anybody with anybody and they'll find chemistry just like that.
Okay, wait a sec. I'm going to go back to the FU match because it drew a lot of attention between you and Tim Stützle on the bench, as you can, as I'm sure you're aware. And it wasn't an FU match. I will make that clear. How often, I guess, because you competitors, how often does that kind of conversation happen? Where to us, and Yorkie and Bobby, you can weigh in here. To us on the outside, it looks like you guys are in an argument, but I'm assuming it's just I need you to play this way or do this or however it is to make us win better, play better and win hockey games. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I remember that time where Timmy and I were talking. It was caught on video. It's we were both kind of laughing after. We're like, that is not at all kind of what we like. It was just the media just kind of ran with it like we were mad. It was just we were talking about a certain play and obviously the hands gestures probably were make it seem like we're mad, but we're just pointing, explaining, and helping each other out. But honestly, like you guys know, it happens a lot just on the bench. Talking through plays and what you were thinking, what he was thinking. Like, okay, I gotta be in that position. So, I mean, I always think that even if there is a little bit of a battle on the bench, it almost helps the group because it shows everybody that you're in it. You wanna win. Like you want to make the right play. You want to hold guys accountable. It's just I feel like that's what winning culture is all about. Is that you want to lead by example. You want to play the right way, and if somebody's not, then you almost try to get them to be on that page. So it shows everybody that everybody's doing what it takes here.
Yeah, I think for, Brady, I was telling these guys the other day, like Clark MacArthur and I obviously played together, and we almost had a knockdown, drag out fist fight on the ice in practice. And then 4 hours later, I picked him up for our Halloween party dressed as, a bathroom attendant. Like, I don't think that people realize that you're going to have those conversations, especially as a captain, because that's the position that you're in. But you're going to have those conversations, and then 20 minutes later, you're not thinking about that conversation. You're just moving on to the next thing. That's kind of how the room is when you're running it, right?
Yeah, there's no grudges. It's just I mean, it's passionate, it's emotional. Like, of course, there's probably things that I've said in the past that I wish I didn't say, but I mean, everybody's here for everybody wants to win. So it's sometimes emotion gets the best of myself for sure, but I think everyone knows that it's coming from a good place. That just all the outcome we want is just to win hockey games.
For sure.
Has Giroux given you any advice on how to handle players, or I mean, you're still young, but do you need any of that advice?
Yeah, of course, can always be better in that aspect too, and he's kind of a different outlet or different outlet that I use, and just to see his perspective, see what he's learned. It's yeah, I don't know if it's been like a certain situation where he's helped me out of how to handle a certain guy or whatever. We haven't had that issue on our team, but yeah, no, he's just little things just in preparation that I've learned from him, like to get on the ice before games, just how he handles the highs and lows of each game. It's just he's always stoic, steady, and just ready to go the next shift, and it's quite impressive, to be honest with you.
I don't think we've chatted since you had a meeting, or I'll call it a meeting. You had lunch with Daniel Alfredson. And of course, he's been around the rink now a lot more. A, what's it like to have him back around the rink? And B, have you picked his brain much?
Yeah, no, it's of course it's been busy this year with him, with the Hall of Fame and leading up to it, and I think the recovery after the celebration. So no, haven't been able to pick his brain too much, and during that stretch, things weren't going so well with our team. So yeah, no, it was, but yeah, he's been around the rink more, so just hang out, talk to him, and just for other guys too, just to get to know them, and because COVID, of course, a lot of guys came in and didn't really have any outside interaction with many other people because it was pretty locked in and with all the protocols and stuff. So for guys to get to know him through this year and just to see guys that have played before us and have paved the way for our group, it's nice for guys to get to know him and other guys that are involved with the Sens still.
Yeah, I think
how
I'll
many
just jump
Ryan
in here
Reynolds
for a second.
Yeah,
sorry. I'll just say I don't think people realize with Alfie. I think people think a certain way about the way he was because he played a very intense game and comes off a certain way. But he's and Brady can tell you this. Like when you're talking to him, and I've picked his ear, on things. He's very, very cerebral and kind of well reserved with the way that he approaches things. So when you get a chance, especially as a young captain, I'm sure for Brady, when you get a chance to kind of lean on that, it's a really, really big deal to have a guy that's handled things a certain way for a long period of time inside the room.
Yeah, no, it's crazy kind of how everybody handles different situations. Like I feel like of course my dad and Matthew, and then you have G that I've been able to lean on Alfie. It's just everybody kind of handles certain situations different. So for me, just to be able to have kind of all those outlets, it's I feel like it kind of opens up another part that I could think about in a different perspective. So it definitely has helped me out a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Brady, you're an American guy. You're playing at Canadian City, but you really seem to embrace. You're not a guy that hides. You go out, you see kids playing road hockey, you go play road hockey with them. I think that's what fans love about you. So for you, is it, I'm not going to say, is it hard playing in a Canadian City, but so many guys just hide and they stay away from those kind of things. You just seem to embrace it though. And I think that's why people just seem to really identify with you. And, where's that come from?
He's a dual citizen.
Yeah. Well,
it's a Canadian and
he's a goalie.
Yeah. Well,
there you go. He's a
yeah.
goalie.
Well, first I want to just show that just a normal guy who just plays hockey for Sens. I don't really think of myself above anybody else. It's I feel like I'm a part of this community now. I've been here for 5 years. So and they've welcomed me right from day one. They've supported me. So I'm definitely feeling like I'm at home and yeah, I just I remember when I was a kid, looking up to somebody and being excited to go to the rink and see guys and all that. So if I can put a smile on a kid's face, that's kind of what I want, and that's we just want the kid to, if they're struggling with something, that they can forget about it and just have a happy moment or happy interaction that they had with me.
Hey, Brady, I used to bring my kids around the rink, and when I was in Boston, all they wanted to be around was Chara. When you were a little guy and your dad was bringing you around the rink, who was it? If you can go back and remember, wow, that was the guy you were super pumped to meet when you were the little guy running around the rink.
Wow, there's a ton of guys. I know a guy that's kind of come full circle where, Bear Jackman, he was, of course, him and my dad are still tight to this day, but
nice.
But it's kind of come full circle that now Matthew and I are, friends of his, and we're going to watch his son play and youth hockey, stuff like that. So it's come full circle. But yeah, he's a guy that probably kept in touch with the most to today.
That's my guy. We live together up in Idaho, Yorkie? Jackman and I.
Oh yeah,
We've had a couple golf cart rides.
Really?
Yeah.
He used to chirp me.
Yeah.
He used to chirp me when I was
that.
in Nashville. Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
We were different types of player. He'd always try and chirp me and try. Listen, I go, I'm not a fighter, Jax. I'm not fighting you. Like, leave me alone.
I still think one of my favorite we're gonna have to talk about George Peros flicking his. Remember when George? Have you ever seen that clip of George just flicking it? Oh, yeah. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love that, man. So good. George
flicking
Peros
his nose in the scrum.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yes, I remember now. Speaking of fighting, do you not like Vincent Trocheck?
I mean, I wouldn't say don't like him. I don't really know him, so yeah. I wouldn't say we have beef unless he said. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind him. I mean, he's a competitor, so not gonna be friends with him. But yeah, I don't know him at all.
Yeah, you fought him twice, which is only, I think, one of two guys you fought twice now. Take me to that game against the Rangers, December 2nd. You have the Gordieau hat trick. You score the winning goal. You dominated that game. I'm going to say better than anybody or any game that I've watched you play. I could be wrong. You tell me. But was that game one of the best you've ever played?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of things went right that game for me. But yeah, I mean, I think it was just one of those games that we just needed to win. But yeah, being able to go center ice, that was pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was. I don't think I've ever done. I don't think I've ever done anything like that in my life. I think it was a Friday night at MSG, and yeah, what I remember, it was going nuts. So just looked at our bench, and everybody seemed to be fired up. So made me fired up, and yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. It's pretty neat. It was just cool that it's one of my favorite rinks to play in, or if not my favorite rink. So for that to happen, it was I was definitely pretty fired up.
Hey, Troops is strong too, eh?
Yeah, no, he got me with one of the most flush punches I've ever. But it was one of those where he got me square in the face, that it was just like it was almost perfect that it didn't even hurt. It was weird. But I think it was just all the. I couldn't sleep that night. We had a back-to-back. I don't think I fell asleep till like 4:30, and then the whole next day I'm like to Timmy and Jay, I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You guys got to take over tonight. I'll be sitting back here. I don't know if I can get through tonight. So, but
you had a night the night
That
before. That was. Yeah, it was one of those things, Yorkie, where you go into practice on a whatever day, and you just go, hey, keep the puck in the middle today. For different reasons, but yeah.
Don't chip it in my
pass
corner.
To the right side. Yeah, because poor for a period of time there, poor Ryan Getzlaff had me and Corey Perry together, and neither one of us could get to a corner for a while there.
Not much speed on those wings.
No, low and slow.
Brady, you scored the opening goal for Ottawa in the next game against San Jose on the power play.
It didn't do much after. That's one of those pack it in moments.
Don't elaborate. Fantastic.
All right, guys,
answer.
I had my guy.
Yeah.
Sounds like Bobby.
Yeah.
Speaking of the power play, this is an obviously leading question. How good is your power play? You've got 40 goals on the season, which is the second most to anybody. Edmonton is first. Have you? I don't know. All right, just explain the power play, because it just seems to be out of this world at the moment.
I didn't know that stat. Things are clicking. We're playing fast. We're breakdown. We're capitalizing on it. So and it's just not coming from one guy. It's coming from everybody on the unit. So yeah, no, it's been good. Hopefully we can keep. We're confident we can keep clicking and keep putting pucks in the back of the net.
Bobby, you're the power play specialist. You've
Yeah,
talked
sorry.
about it being the best you've seen in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's close. I think we've talked about this a ton. I think the way, and Brady can, as a net front guy, I think that you're a retriever and then you're a finisher and a little bit of everything. But I think the way the guys are getting downhill from the flanks is just really, really good. And that when they get downhill like that, Brady can tell you that it makes his job easier because you can screen and then you can pop and then you can, pop and push into the middle. There's so many different options on this power play right now that it's a lot of fun to watch. It really is a lot of fun to watch. So, that's my only comment on it. It really is.
Yeah, no, I think we're doing, kind of like what you're saying. We're doing a good job of getting that, numbers down by the net. So it's not just me whacking.
Yeah.
It could be Drake whacking or the backside guy whacking it into. And then I just think we're just not forcing anything either. Just trusting that we're going to make the right play. I think our entries we're coming in with speed too, and able to hit that flat pass, bump it back up, or chip it down, turn up. We just have a lot of options that we're just trusting each other that to make the hard, crisp, right play. But I think just what we're just going well is just we're playing fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are hanging on to the one thing about you, Brady. I just noticed from this year, you seem to be hanging on to the puck a little longer this year. You just seem, not that you weren't, like, you've always been great down around the net, down in the corners, running over guys, but you seem like you've added just a little bit more. You extend plays, and the zone entries you just talked about. You guys enter the zone so pure on that power play, and it's not just one guy. It might be you, it might be DeBrincat, it might be Batherson, it might be Shabbat. It seems like every single guy is not afraid to hold on to the puck. You're not afraid to make mistakes, so you're just all so confident out there that you don't. The other team's penalty kill can't really key on one person. I guess that's when I watch your power play. That's kind of what I get out of it. Yeah,
no, like you said, it's just I feel like it's just 5 threats out there. It's tough to kind of if you take away one, there's another option open. So it's just I think that's just credit for bringing in guys and it's management staff and just kind of putting us all in our strengths and it's just nice to have those options and like I said, if you take away one, then we have 4 other options there too. So it's been good. It's been fun. Yeah, we're all confident. We're not afraid to make mistakes, like you said, and it's just. I think it all comes back just we're usually always hanging out with one another and occasionally talk plays, but just trusting one another.
Mm-hmm.
I just have about 30 more questions to get through, so I'll make this quick.
Oh, poor
guy.
Poor guy.
How many Ryan Reynolds movies have you started to watch now?
I wouldn't say I've picked up many more of his movies, but movies I've seen in the past, it's The Proposal with Sandra Bullock, seen that a bunch.
What a great movie.
Van
what
Wilder.
A great movie. Yeah.
That's a great movie. Van Wilder I've seen.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sneaky. It's a sneaky, very good movie I don't think a lot of people know. I've seen the Deadpools. So it's been good.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe you should? Do you think that as the captain, if Ryan Reynolds comes in as owner, that you should get perhaps first crack at any kind of cameo or any other role in a movie?
Wow, I haven't
100%.
even thought of that. Well, I don't know. Talb's just got a Deadpool mask, so I think he potentially could be. Yep, there it is. He could be number one now for doing that.
See, and that's what I was going to bring up. This is clearly a business decision by Talbot. He's either trying to get a new contract or he's trying to get a starring role in the movie.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Smart man.
Smart man. That's it.
Hey, goalies are weird.
Do you like? Yeah, fair enough. Do you like the hype that's surrounding potential ownership of having Ryan Reynolds, or when he was in the building and all that stuff? That's it makes the Sens a little bit cooler.
Yeah, it's I definitely it's getting a lot of no attention league wide. So yeah, it's intriguing. It's of course don't know any of the background information, but it is kind of not putting us on the map. I wouldn't say that, but it's just a lot of people are talking about it league wide. So it's gonna be interesting to see what ends up happening.
It's gonna be. It would be cool if he. I mean, it would be really cool for you guys in the room too, and like to have him come down and be part of it. I think that you guys would. I mean, I can only imagine how much fun that would be having him around.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool when he was at the game. You know, everyone's talking about them. Of course, he made the huge spectacle. So we didn't get to see him after because I think we got spanked that game. But yeah, no, it was it was pretty cool to see a guy like that supporting in Ottawa. That's that well known global to be there. It was pretty cool.
I actually laughed at that because you guys did the night. Wally, the night that he was there for those guys, I mean, you took one in the teeth, boys. It was a tough night for the Sens. Yeah.
Yes, he's got nothing else to add to that one. I like it.
Yeah, he was probably second guessing. He was probably second guessing after that one.
Yeah.
Is there a special power when you wear the suntan goggles?
I mean, they're hilarious. I didn't really realize how people actually wear those goggles. So it's funny how it's our thing and just how it came about. It's pretty cool.
Do you miss having roommates, teammates, I should say, as roommates that you used to have with Stützle and Norris and Whitey?
Yeah, at times, but no, it's for the most part, it's for the best.
It's nice. Yeah.
If Brady Tkachuk had to pick one, if Brady had to pick one of the three of us as a roommate, who would you choose?
I mean, I got to go with Bobby. Former teammate, helped me out a lot. Got to go with my boy.
My guy.
That should be the reason you don't pick him.
That's right. Move on from the question. He gave perfect answer.
Yeah.
That's because he picked you.
Yeah.
I wanted you touched on something before I let you go about DJ Smith. Early on, there was a lot of talk about there was heat on him, more pressure from fans, and you stood up and you talked about the noise and all that stuff. Can you talk about your relationship with DJ and all the stuff that perhaps goes on behind the scenes that we don't know about, which is why it seems this team wants to play for him?
Yeah, well, during that, it's I was just thinking, for me and then a lot of guys in the team, we wouldn't be the players and who we are if it wasn't for him and what he's done for us and developing us, giving us those chances. When things weren't going well, or whenever we were turning the puck up, he was still putting us back out there. So, of course, we're at a different stage of where our team's at. But I mean, for me personally, he's done so much for me, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to play hard for him. It's he has your back, and yeah, I mean, I think he's the coach for us, and I think we're getting that reputation league wide that we're a hard team to play against, and it's just everybody's plays fast and plays physical too, and just plays the right way under him for sure.
Yeah.
Hey Brady, what behind closed doors, people see DJ on the outside. I've known DJ for a long time. I know what he's like as a guy off the ice. Great man, funny guy. What's his best though attribute? Like as a coach, is it communication? Is he motivator? Is it like these great pregame speeches? Like when for you, what do you think he does that brings out the best in you guys? I guess one of his best attributes.
It's communication for sure. It's It's communicating what needs to be done. In practice games, it's communicated that work ethic is going to be our number one attribute. So it's and if say after a game or the next day go through video, it's communication of what you need to do to get better. It's just I think that's his number one value, and I don't think he. And what's also important, he doesn't hold any grudges. It's always a new day, moving on to the next game. But it's with communication of, okay, we need you to, come back a little harder. We need you to, be more physical. He'll communicate what he needs out of, each individual and collectively as well.
Yeah. I think.
Does he know how to whisper?
Very safe and whisper.
No,
but I think
no whispering.
No, Brady, you can confirm this because I played for DJ for a little bit, right? But what I think is safe to say about DJ is you always know where you stand, and that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Huge.
No, I think that's he doesn't hide anything. Like you said, it's just he knows. So it's it's there's no kind of gray area. It's just
Last question before we let you go. And one, congratulations on the engagement that you did in the summer. Are you allowed, or do you have any say in the wedding planning?
Well, thank you, but more just signing checks. But that's pretty much it. But no, it's good. It's fun. It's a fun process. But no, we're having a good time doing it. No, it's exciting.
I'll tell you.
Well, congratulations. Anyway,
I was really fortunate enough. I got to play with Brady for a little bit, but I played against your dad for a long period of time, and I'll never forget one of my favorite stories that I've actually had in the NHL. Was the dad's trip that your dad and Will Annan's dad and a couple of guys came on, but Zach Smith and I were the veterans on the team. Neither one of our dads made the trip, so you go from that first class plane that we have all the time to the mainline plane when all the dads are in there. Yeah. And I'm sitting in the back row. It was one of my favorite stories. I'm sitting in the back row of the plane with Zach Smith, and your dad pops his head over the top, and he said, "My son's playing video games up there with the guys. Does nobody drink anymore?" Zach Smith reached down and pulled a bottle of wine out of his shoe and started pouring your dad a drink. So he's like, "Yeah, you just had to find the veterans." So I ended up having like a drink with your dad and Will Annan's dad. We ended up sitting with those two dads for 45 minutes and shooting the shit. It was a really, really cool time. But it was funny that your dad just popped his head over the side and Zach's got a bottle of wine in his shoe.
He loves holding the mic and making me look like shit. But no, it was those are always fun. But that's typical him.
And then he's a good man. I think I played in his last ever home game against him. And I saw you and Matthew were on the ice, watching him get rewarded and stuff like that. And then I had to go line up against him that same night. So it's kind of come full circle, man. It's been nice to watch you kind of grow into the player you're becoming.
Yeah, I appreciate
it's been nice.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. Brady, you're
thanks, Brady.
One more thing. We'll let you go, Brady. We've had you long enough. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks once again to Brady Tkachuk for stopping by. We appreciate his candor and his entertainment. Guys, I got a question to ask you that came up on Twitter the other day about pictures on a bench. And it was actually, I think it was in New Jersey, but it ended up being Ottawa's bench, where they tape pictures of the officials on the bench so that the players can see. I guess this isn't that uncommon. I don't remember it before, perhaps this year. Do you guys do this? Are you aware of this? And what are your thoughts on it?
I haven't seen that. Have you, Bobby? That's
I've never seen this. Yeah, that's a first. Yeah, completely first. But I was a big believer in knowing who the refs were every night, and big believer in going to see them after the first stoppage of the game. The first TV timeout, you would always see me kind of skate out there slowly, and I would go talk to them. I think there's a way to approach those guys every night, and they're really good guys most of the time, but you have to be a certain way with them. So I like this. I think it's a big part of the game.
Yeah, there's people wouldn't think so, but so I used to ref as a kid. I refed for like 7 years. I actually tossed a few parents at it right out of the arena when I was refing as a kid. But I umpired too. Umpired baseball, which was even more fun. But with refs, I was the same, Bobby.
Okay.
I always found if you almost cut deals with these guys at the beginning of the game, it's human element, man.
Yeah.
If you talk to a guy and you let him know, hey, what's going on? How's the family? And you get a relationship with these guys. If there's a later call, they're going to go towards your side because you're not the guy chirping them all game. Everyone thinks if you keep yelling and you keep giving it to these guys, I'm the opposite, man. Because sooner or later, they're going to come back and bite you. So I like it. So I would think that's why they're doing it, right? Put the names under there. Everyone knows their names. So when you're talking to these guys, you can take every little advantage you can get with these guys.
Yeah, 100%.
What's the heatest you've ever gotten with an official, Bobby?
What's the Sorry, I lost you there.
What's the heatest? How mad did you get? Yeah.
Oh man, God, probably in Detroit last year. I probably crossed, or 2 years ago, I guess at this point. He missed a call, and it was Anthony Duclair slew foot at me. Went on to score, and I was absolutely, Yorkie, when you're standing up there and you're watching it happen from your blue line and then they score, I was absolutely assaulting the referee before he even went like this. And then, and I will say this, actually, it was bad. And I said some things you can't take back, but at the same time, he came up to me before the next period started and said, "You've never done that to me in 15 years, give or take. Like, what's going on?" I said, "Did you watch the play?" And he said, "I did. I missed the call. I apologize." And that was the end of the conversation. Because he admitted it, and that's all that you need to hear, right? I can't take it back now at this point.
So that's awesome. So when I went over to play in the Swiss League, I was never a big penalty minute guy. I got 120 minutes of penalties in the Swiss League in only whatever we played. It was like 40 games. So the worst I ever got, we went over to play. I played for the Spengler Cup team. We went over to play in Slovakia, and we played in Piastany, the same rink where they had the punch out in Piastany. And the refereeing was so friggin' bad. I forget what the guy called, but it was an awful call. I gave me a 10. I'm going to the box, and the guy chirped me. Then I lost it. I tried to get out the ref. I didn't want to be in Switzerland anymore. I was really pissed off because I had a deal to go back to play in the NHL, but my Swiss team wouldn't let me out of the deal because the deadline had passed. So I was so angry. I'm 37, 36. Probably don't want to play hockey anymore. So I end up trying to get at the ref, and then I couldn't get at him. So I just grabbed my glove and I just whipped my glove at his head. And he teased me up for a gross.
I guess.
And then
you tried to dueling slap the guy.
I couldn't get at him. The team's got me, and I'm trying to get. It's like the scene of Bull Durham where I'm trying to get kicked out of the game for calling the guy. You remember what he called him? But anyhow, Hockey Canada, the Spengler Cup guys, I think they destroyed the game sheet or something because I shouldn't have been able to be able to play after that, but the game sheet mysteriously, I think, disappeared because you can't whip a glove at a ref and be able to play in the next tournament. So that was that's the most heated by far I've ever got at a ref. I actually whipped my glove.
Really?
And it really is that going to do anything? Oh, good. I got you with my glove. But man, it sure felt good.
Well, it's funny you say that because I wasn't going to even ask you because you always were a pretty tame, put together player on the ice. So that's funny that you have the.
Listen, hey, and
glove
Bobby, you
throwing
know this. When you go over and play in the Swiss League, and because the Swiss guys, they skate, they're quiet, they're just really reserved guys. If you're a Canadian or American, they think you're the toughest guy in the world. Don't shave for a couple days. Go out there, be angry, growl. Oh, God, he's a Canadian. He must be tough. So I fooled him.
You don't ever have to fight anybody. You just have to make it look like you would like to. And
yes,
and you got
no, don't mess with that guy. He's crazy. He's crazy.
He's nuts. He slapped somebody with a glove.
Oh God.
Before.
So sorry.
Yep.
One last little quick story. It's kind of funny. My first game over there, we're playing a team Zug, and Bobby, you know this as well. The top scorer from every team has to wear the golden helmet with the jersey with the flame. With the jersey with the flames, and the top scorer, he did something. He speared me or something. The refs didn't call it, so I just jumped on him and I started punching him in the head. And that was my first game there. So it was kind of like first day in jail where you got to go beat somebody up, and then the whole league hears about it. Like, man, there's this crazy Canadian guy over here. Don't mess with him. He even went after the top scorer.
That's a complete business decision. Well done, Yorkie. Just set the league on. Yeah, set the league up and let them know. But I couldn't believe that when I went to that Lugano game and I show up and I'm like, why does that guy have a flame on his helmet? And it was because of the thing, like the top scorer thing. I had never heard that before, but it was incredible to watch.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. I actually brought the helmet home. I took it from the dressing room. I have the flame helmet in my. I should wear it on the show one day. It's so funny.
Yes.
I love it.
Whenever you make decisions on the lock of the day, you'll have to wear the helmet.
It's about 2 sizes too small for my melon now, though. It's like it's gonna sit like I'm gonna be like one of those old school fighters that wear the tight head and their head just the helmet and the head just friggin' blows up out of the. You always can tell who the fighters are on every team because they have the giantest melons. It's that must be the fighter. Look at the size of his head. It's got a massive head.
Solid helmet.
Before we get to the Betano Lock of the day, Bobby, do you need to put a log on the fire in the back, or is it okay?
Oh, looks like it's getting low.
Yeah, I think I got 4 more hours of this thing. It just continuously runs on a loop. We're good.
Look, cozy in there.
We're good. Oh, yeah.
Does it feel warmer in there now that you?
It does not. No, I wish I had more going for it. It's above a fireplace too. Like there is a fireplace down there that I can't light, so I had to put that on.
Maybe we could do the aquarium channel next time.
That'd be great. I would love to. Whatever you guys need for the show.
All right. Before we get out of here, it's now time for Jason York to come and tell us what he thinks is going to happen. It's the Betano Lock of the Day, brought to you by Betano.ca. Go there, sign up, by the way, also on the app, and quick payouts. By the way, as we get to the Canada Czech final, Czechia final, Canada's the favorite, guys, but like if Czechia is at $5.50, if you play a $10 bet on them, you could win $55. So business decision wise, it might be okay to go with the Czechia team, but I'm going to say, Yorkie, what is your lock of the day?
Are we allowed to take Canada Czechia? We can go at that game. Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lock it in. I already said after Canada lost that game to Czechia, they're not losing again. I don't care how good Czechia has played. The gold medal game was Canada-US. Whoever won that game was winning the gold. So lock it in. Canada's going to win the gold medal. I don't care what if you're betting $5 or whatever. Take the money. It's a lock.
Yeah, I got no. I can't disagree. I think that you said it best right there. When they lost the first game or whatever it was, they were not going to. It just woke them up. That's all it did. It woke them up, and they're not going to lose again. And yeah, I'd love to hedge my bet and go the other way, but no, I can't. I agree with you 100%.
Well, I thought you would have come back with some kind of officiating joke. What?
I should. Damn it!
But
all right.
But I should the Czechs have played some pretty good hockey. Like they have a really good team. Canada doesn't always make you think defensively.
Yeah, fair.
I know.
Okay.
I know that TSN, for example, wants a storyline here, and they're trying to make it. Woo, what's going to happen here? It's going to be close. It's not. The gold medal was Canada versus US. It's a lock.
Yep. The over under is 7.5.
Oh,
so
I would take the under on that. I think. Yeah, you have to. Yeah. What do you think,
7.5, eh? 7.5. Ooh, boys. Yeah.
Empty net goals.
Yeah, that's pretty good, eh? That's right where you think it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say this a lock, but if I'd be pressed to take one, I think I'd go over. I think I would go over on that one.
Wow.
I think I'm going to take the over. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the over. I do.
Okay.
I think
But
it's,
I
think it's a 4-1 game.
I was going to say 3-2, 3-1. That was kind of my sweet spot on that one.
Yeah. There'll be an empty netter for sure.
Yeah, and over and unders are a lot tougher. It's a little easier when we're talking about an outdoor game or something, but yeah. I can't see Canada losing, guys. I can't see it.
No.
They've already faced adversity twice. They lost game 1, woke them up like Bobby said, and even last night, I thought their goaltending in the third period, the U.S. was all over them for about 5-10 minutes. They didn't have a shot on goal. As soon as they got a shot, they scored. So no, lock. This is. I think it's a lock. So if you want to make some easy money, bet Canada.
Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see then
on
Monday when we come back. We will discuss this and more. But for now, you guys enjoy your weekend, and we'll check in with you next time. See you guys.
See you, boys.